Grad is just around the corner, and today we're going to be making a grad sign. So this is one that we made last year. That's why it says 2024. So we're going to make a 2025 one. We're going to be using our 4836 from AP Lazer, and it's going to be done on a 1/4-inch maple. Hey, I'm Rayanne, and I'm from Inoki Engraving. Today we're going to be making a grad sign. So I'm going to walk you through the steps in this tutorial from start to finish so you can make your own 2025. The first step of this is to get your template together. We're going to do that all in LightBurn. The second step then is to set up your settings for your laser to cut the sign. We're going to be using our 4836 today from AP Lazer. The third step then is to paint the sign, to attach the custom name, and this cute little tassel. So right now we're just going to jump right onto the computer to get that template set up. I'm going to start off by picking a bold font. I like to pick a bolder font for the base just because these numbers have to be welded together, so it all cuts in one piece. And we don't want italic on, so here's our 2025. And take that now. In order to make this a welded piece, I'm going to go up to our H space here, and I'm just going to keep making it negative until all of the numbers are attached here, 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 right there. So we know that that's all going to cut as one piece now. The next thing we're going to do is input our grad head. I just found this online. There's a lot of free images there that you can use. And we're going to go down to the trace image tool. So what that does is put a line all around the grad head. So that's good. You can zoom in to make sure there's no broken lines. Now I'm going to take the original image and cut that out. We don't need that now. So now I want the grad hat to rest on our 2 on the 2025. So I'm going to just size that out. The welding tool now will weld this whole image together. So you want to make sure that there's no overlapping and that it's just sitting there just like that. So you're going to select all that, go up to Tools, right down here to Weld Shapes, and then we have a welded design. The next thing I'm going to do is add a personalized name. So we have a grad named Miranda, graduating this year. So the best thing about these signs is that they are personalized with a name, and they're not just for photo props. They're great to use as photo props, but then when you're done, you can get your peers to sign them. So then they become kind of like a keepsake guest book. So I like this font. It's called Always Smile. We get a lot of our fonts for free on defont.com. You can purchase fonts as well, but we always find ones we really like on Defont. So this is where I want Miranda's name to sit. I'm going to copy and paste her name because one of these are going to be a cut file and the other I just want to mark my 2025 so I know where to place her name once I'm ready to glue it on. So I like to use green for line. I'm going to go up here to line and change my settings to 20 speed, which is really fast. I only want to lightly mark the wood, not cut through it. So 20 speed, 11 power works for marking. And then I'm going to take my other 2 and change them to red because I know then that red means cut. I'm then going to go up here and change my red to 0.7 speed, 75 power, and 70 minimum power. So this is the settings for cutting wood. I use these all the time on my 4836. And there we go. So now we have our design all ready, and it's time to head over to the shop and get the engraving going. All right, so we're here in the shop and we're gonna get our project started. We are going to cut it on this piece of maple. As you can see, it's already been used up as much as we could. We love to use as much of our material as possible. We get this maple from our local Sega Enterprises. We like to give them a little shout out for always keeping this in stock for us. So I'm gonna put this right into the laser. I already have my template sent over and we'll get that started. All right, so now that we have our material in the laser, the design's already sent over, so it's ready to go. So I'm going to hit file, enter, and I can see that it pulls up right there on my screen, so I know it's the right file. I'm then going to take my Z table and begin to move it up, because we want to make sure that we are using our focal stick to line up the laser beam with the material to get the best cut. So with our 4836, it's really great because it's just a touch of a button to move that table up and down. So that's there. Now I'm going to hit exit and put that right in the center. Sometimes you'll find that wood warps, so you can see it's a lot closer on that end right there. So we take our magnets and just kind of press it down on any areas that might be moving up on us. It's right there. So now I'm going to put it there in the center. I'm going to hit my origin button, which locks it into place. And then I'm going to hit frame, and you'll watch the laser beam move around, and that is the cutting area. So that looks really good. It's, again, not using up all the material, so I'm going to just move it over a little bit. Origin framed. And you see the space that's left over here. I know that later on I can use that material to make keychains or something like that. So again, keep using the material until it's all gone. So we're lined up pretty good right there. We're gonna hit start. So the first part of this, you can see that it's doing the line, which is outlining where I will put Miranda's name on the sign when it's done. And it's just enough to make a little outline, but not enough power to cut through the maple. So the great thing about maple is that we can make these signs as big or as small as we want. We made them last year 15 inches right up to 33 inches. And once your grad is done using them as a photo prop, they can then get white acrylic markers or gel pens, and then their friends can sign it and it becomes a keepsake. We also make the grad just the names, and another idea of what you can do with this. We've also made wedding signs. So maple is a really great material to work with. There's so many things you can make out of it. The great thing about this sign is that we have grad coming up, so we'll make a bunch of the 2025s with the grad hat and have them all ready to go for when someone comes in. All they have to do then is tell us the name that they want on their sign. All we have to do is cut the name out and attach it, and their order's ready to go. And these signs are good for not just graduating classes, but also kindergarten graduations, any graduating class. Kindergarten and grade 12 are one of our biggest, but We have parents that actually come in and get grad signs for kids that are coming in grade 1, grade 2. There's just a lot of different options when it comes to maple and when you're able to customize like this. So that one is done. And now I'm gonna just take that out of our material. I'll knock the M out there. I don't want to lose my eye. It's so small it might fall in between the grapes. So now I have the name and the sign. There we go. So this is a smaller version, but we do them, I said, like up to 33 inches. I'm going to take this now. I'm going to paint it black with my acrylic, and then I will be back to show you the finished product with the name tag. All right, so here's the finished product. And like I said, we can make these bigger, we can make them smaller. You can paint this in any color. And just adding that name to this makes it a personalized item. This is actually a really big seller for us this time of year, come grad. I really hope you liked this tutorial. And if you did, make sure to give us a like. And we'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. We'll be back every week with new content and more fun videos just like this.